Alex, thank you so much for your time. I know we've been trying to get this going, but I
Yeah.
mean, I'm so glad we could do it today because this weekend we headed to Spa, and that's your Red Bull anniversary. So are you feeling giddier than most people?
Yeah, it's a good race. It's nice to go back to where you could say it all started.
Mm.
And it's a nice track. It's one of the best circuits that we go to. It's iconic.
Yeah.
I have good memories from last year, so hopefully we can do a good job this one.
I mean, if you go from number 17 to number 5, I think that's the best memory to have more than anyone.
Yeah, yeah, it was good. It was good. It was that first race. Obviously, you want to do a good job just because you want to make an impression. And I remember that weekend. Of course, you get very nervous because you're in the big team. It's with a big. You create your own pressure, even though the team didn't give me pressure. You're like, okay, I want to do well here. So to have a race like that was pretty special.
It was. So when you started with Red Bull, you said that it was a bit of a blur because there's just so much media circus around it, and all of a sudden people didn't care to be talking to you. All of a sudden they're like, "Hey, Alex, has it stopped being a blur? Are we finally seeing things in high definition for you right now?"
Yeah, I would say so. I think with everything going on, it all moves fast. Racing, the whole Formula One circus is extremely chaotic, and last year it was all happening very quickly. You didn't really have much time to sit back and think of what was going on. It was more just arrive to each race every week and perform your best. So I would say with the lockdown and with having all that time to yourself, you kind of have that time to think about it all. And yeah, it feels like this year, at least, it feels a lot more smooth, and I can really focus on the races and the performance side of it. Before it was almost a little bit like, just going around and trying to fit in and trying to do my best.
And I always love your honesty when it comes to interviews. And I've listened to a few of your interviews. And the one time you said that, the whole media thing, you don't really dig it all that much, which is why I'm so grateful that you're doing this interview. You don't dig it that much, but you understand that it's necessary. But what I
Yeah.
want to know is, do you guys go for media training? Because every single driver on the grid is always so engaging in their answers and so honest, and there's none of this no comment, When you guys are asked something, sometimes I'm shocked. I'm like, oh, he answered it.
We don't have any media training. I'm sure there are some drivers who have had it, but I'm guessing it's just because we've been interviewed our whole life, and we at the same time, I think we teams, Formula One teams, they don't tell us, don't say this, don't say that. It's quite an open book. Of course, there are things we know we shouldn't say, and we don't want to upset anyone. But no, it's been okay. And I think also the answers tend to be the questions tend to be very good. We don't have too much hard-hitting questions. Of course, we get it. I think this year especially, there's been a bit more, but it's been, it's kind of that thing of, it's there, it's a necessity, it's what gives the teams the sponsorships. So you just kind of, deal with it, I guess, in some ways.
Because I mean, what I did like that you said is that you don't necessarily agree with the less testing, because it means that new drivers don't have as much experience in getting comfortable with the cars. Now, when you say something like that, do you have to pass it by Christian Horner, who's going to be like, no, don't upset the FIA, don't say that, shh, don't say that? Or are you allowed to have that opinion, because ultimately it is you in the car?
Yeah, I think we're free to speak. There's never a time when it's like, don't say this, don't say that, as I said before. But in that kind of thing, I think everyone can agree with. We do have this an amazing championship. There's only 20 seats available, so at some points, of course, being in Formula One, you don't want other people to take your place. But at the same time, there is a younger generation coming through, and it is very difficult. Obviously, you need backing, you need a lot of opportunities to be in Formula One. So I think it's good, because back in the olden days, testing was unlimited, and there was such a huge opportunity for young drivers to prove their point, whereas now it's not even the case. I mean, when I drove my first time in a Formula One car was what, less than a month before my first race. So it's kind of, it's trying to help that part of it, because it's obviously going to be tougher for the rookies when they do join.
So, I mean, there are few top seats in F1, and I think you've got one of them, and not because you're with Red Bull, but because you guys do your pit stop in 1.82 seconds. And I want to know, how does it feel to be in the center of that? Because you've got the best seats. Our cameras can come from everywhere, but you're watching everyone do this whole pit stop in 1.82 seconds. How does that feel? It's quick.
It's quick. It's really quick. I remember that race. So my first race, as we said, was in Spa last year.
Wow.
And every team in Formula One, it's to do with anything any Formula One team does. The level is so high nowadays. Everyone's fighting within tenths of a second, whether it's on circuit or in the pit stops. And Red Bull, I mean, Toro Rosso were good. I mean, we were averaging, let's say, 3.2 second pit stops, which is, let's say, it's. I'd say it was around midfield. But then that time when I did my first pit stop with Red Bull, and suddenly you're doing under 2 seconds, it was a bit like, oh my God, we're going, get ready, tires are already on the car and we have to leave. So it's incredible, the hard work that goes on. With mechanics and everyone thinks that we're the athletes of the whole thing, but really, I mean, mechanics, they have training, they do all these, they're non-stop practicing, they're doing training camps, everything like this to be as good as they are. So it's really a team sport.
And are you at these training camps? Are you watching this go down so it can give you more of an inspiration, so that when you hit that track, it's just go, go, go? Yeah,
you feel it. It's the atmosphere in the team. It's a winning team. You can tell that straight away. It was one of the first impressions I got when I joined Red Bull was, these guys aren't here to compete. These guys are here to win, and everything they do is to win.
So then what's your relationship like with Max? And not on a racing tip, I don't expect you guys for him to be telling you, watch out for that corner, because ultimately you guys are racing. But do you recommend like a Netflix series to him and be like, hey, yo, I watched The Crown, check it out?
Yeah, we get on well. There's nothing really that we don't speak about. Max is a really easygoing person. So we're obviously with each other a lot. I must really see Max more than I do my own family right now. So it is good and bad, I guess. No, it's okay. It's okay.
Oh, so outside of Max on the grid, who's your favorite driver?
Ooh, I get on very well with George Russell and Lando Norris. We're kind of, you could say, even though Max is the same age as us, I never really raced against Max. I raced against Lando and George. So that's kind of my generation, as well as Charles Leclerc. We've all kind of been in the same team when we were, I think, 13, 14. So we've been strong, and we've been, during this whole lockdown thing, we've been playing virtual games and streaming and things like that.
Yeah. And when all of this is done, how would you like to be remembered? Because something stood out for me in one of your interviews. You said you like the fact that Michael Schumacher said that at the beginning of every season, he's nervous, so he almost wants to race in the car by himself so that he can remember that he can still do this thing. So, I appreciate that honesty from him as well. And we remember him for many things, including, being the legend that he is. But when this is done for you in 40 years, let's say we're sitting having this conversation again, how would you like to be wrapped up, remembered as Alex Albon, the driver of F1?
Yeah, that's a very good question. I've never really thought about how I would like to be remembered. I think, of course, I want to do my talking on the circuit. I want to show people what I can do and let's say my skill. But also, don't want to be seen as one of the let's say the hard, or let's say aggressive guys. I am aggressive on the circuit, but off the track, I'm pretty easygoing. That's kind of who I am. So yeah, I would have to think about that. But I want to be, of course, I want to be someone who's remembered, and also, just doing a good job and hopefully bring some championships to Red Bull.
Of course you're going to do that. Well, look, you've got 40 years to decide on how you want to be remembered. You and I will chat again in 40 years. Quickly before I say goodbye, what can you do in your house in 1.82 seconds?
1.82 seconds. We've actually done this. We had a competition. I managed to butter some toast in 1.82 seconds. And I managed to shut all the cupboards and drawers in my kitchen in 1.82 seconds. That's all we did. I don't have a big kitchen, so that's why.
If the driving thing doesn't work out, you know you can become a housekeeper that closes curtains.
As much as I respect housekeepers, I like to keep my Formula One job.
Listen, I'll show you what I can do in 1.82 seconds is call my family in here just so they can say hi because they absolutely love you. We in Johannesburg, South Africa, and we're your biggest fans. Toba, Alake. Okay, it's not 1.82 seconds. Damn. There goes that joke. Come say hi to Alex Albon, Baba. Come. Don't be shy.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going? How are you?
We don't have any makeup on, so
don't worry. Neither do I. Oh,
but
that's great to see.
You're having a good one at Red Bull, hey? Because
yeah, thank you very much.
Your Sundays are blasting quick.
Yes, thank you very much. We still got to work on the Saturdays, but the Sundays will be going well. So thank you.
Look,
yeah, it will come. It will come.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much for your time, Alex, and good luck. Sundays are easy. We're backing you hard this coming Saturday. Okay.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. See you.
Cheers, Alex. Okay.
Bye.
Bye, Alex.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
If you love Joburg, 947 loves you.